Hello, my name is Liza, and today I'd like to share with you how I made my candy corn gnome that I'll be using for my kitchen tier tray. I got my inspiration from my news feed when I saw these adorable candy corn gnomes. And I thought I could actually make one using one of the styrofoam cones that DollarTree sells. I also needed some fake fur. All I could find was this pink fur, but I'll be changing it to orange. You'll need some yellow, orange, and white felt. And I used some orange paint for my fur, and one of these DollarTree travel bottles, the spray one. And nobody ever told me how to cut this fur, but actually just brush some of it up and cut underneath where you can just see the fabric. Otherwise, you're going to have some fur flying. Cut a piece that's going to be the appropriate size for your gnome beard. Then I filled my spray bottle up with some water, dropped in some orange paint, shook it up, and then I spray painted my fur front and back, and I kept it outside to dry, and I just did that several times until I got a nice deep rich color. I did the back and the front, lifted up the fur, etc., etc. And Quarantino was my assistant. He was making sure that it wasn't going to blow away outside. Then I took a piece of paper that was 8.5 by 2.5 inches, and I know there's probably a mathematical way to cover a cylinder, but I didn't know what it was, so this is how I did it. I just took my paper, put it around the center of the cone, and then I put a rubber band around it, and I tried to level the rubber band, and I used a pen, and I used that as my guide to go all the way around, and then I moved my rubber band down to the bottom portion of the paper, and again with a pen followed the rubber band all the way around. And then when I took the paper off, then I could see how I needed to cut that to come up with a good cover for my cone. I cut it out, and then I traced it onto the felt, and then I had my center portion of my candy corn. Then I tried to do something similar for the yellow portion, but I did have some overhang, which was easy enough to cut off since it was on the bottom. And so far, I used hot glue to glue them onto the cone, and this is what it looks like so far. Then when my fur was all dry, I put my fur with some hot glue on top of the orange part of the felt. And then I had a wooden bead, because I have a lot of wooden beads from all my projects, and I used some hot glue, and I just glued the wooden bead on as the nose. And I just wanted to give you a little peek to see how it looked in the back. And the next thing I had to do is create my cone hat. So I took a piece of paper, and I can't read the size, but you can see it there. And I just kind of made it, formed a cone shape out of it. You can even flatten the paper because it's just a template. And this is what the reverse side would look like. I opened it up, traced it onto the felt, and I cut it out. And then I once again laid it down as I did the paper, made sure that it fit over the nose, and then I glued it with some hot glue. I glued it shut. But I wanted it to be more firm on the top, so I put some polyfill into the point just to give it more of a, solid, so it wouldn't droop. And I glued it to the top of my little gnome, and he was done. And this is what it will look like on my tier tray. I hope you enjoyed my project. If you did, please give my video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, and as always, if you aren't already subscribing, please consider doing so. Quarantino and I will be back again with another project. Thanks for watching. Take care.